Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. That's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Entertainment only, a little bit to get through today, and let's get started now. I did actually the other day when I was reading on the bond. We know the bond, Trump's bond for E. Jean Carroll. Pendulum was very clear that it would be rejected. I put the comment up, pinned it, and then when I got up the next morning, it said she had accepted the bond. I went, oh man, I was putting my bias in it and got it wrong, etc. Well, the news has come out, and so I deleted the comment. The news has come out since, but yes, she did actually reject the bond, and that had to be significantly rewritten before it went through. So, yeah, okay, thank you up the side of the head. Yes, they got it right again. Me, the doubting Thomas messenger. I really, really must lean in and trust my guides. I do, but sometimes the messenger leaps to conclusions. Put it that way. Okay, entertainment only. What I want to have a look at first up is. Oh dear, where do I start? I'm going to have a look at Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger in light of yesterday's reading about the fact that really what's happening, what I was really getting is that the powers that be, the puppet masters behind the scenes, the international power brokers who want to remain invisible have basically decided to hang Trump out to dry and focus their attention instead, and all his cronies. So there's a lot there that possibly don't realise that this is what's happening, or they're starting to realise that this is what's happening. And so yeah. And we've got here the lovers card, the contracts and agreements, but in light of the fading masculine energy, which is the aggressive Trumpian type, Trump Orban type energy is fading in the light of the feminine coming forward, and there's some worry going on behind the scenes as they're moving to a position of strength and a new start. Well, when I say position of strength, feminine strength. So I'm going to have a look at Liz Cheney for 2028. Now, if I just say it's going to get worse before it gets better, because the powers that be that are behind the scenes are realizing that they're starting to get exposed, and they don't want to be. They don't like the light being shone on them, and it is because of the Trump machinations. They're the light's starting to come on them, and they're getting. Put it this way, they're just going to really, it's just going to get ugly. It's going to get uglier than what it is as they try to withdraw to back into the shadows of their cave. Ooh-wee. Because we've got here forced to retreat due to loss and disappointment. So they had back Trump. Trump is turning out to be a failure in many ways, but he's also exposed the flaws in their scheme. So I just want to have a look. I'm really getting a feeling that they're shifting their attention towards the Liz Cheney. What are we looking at? We'd be looking at 28 election for 29 in light of the rise of the feminine. Now, we have to remember, despite the fact that Liz Cheney stood on the January 6th committee and brought it to the absolutely brought it to the MAGAs. She is no friend of democracy, and she is no friend of progressiveness. So what we've got here is, again, they are at a difficult decision point where I really feel that they're going to throw Trump out and then support this feminine, put their support behind this feminine as they can see that the masculine is faded. Oh man, the cards today. Right, so I want to have a look at Liz Cheney. I know it's a long way off. I'm just feeling, because what I've seen several times, I'm getting chills despite it being about 90 Fahrenheit here today, when I've got all the windows and doors open. What I have seen time and again, Biden will win the 24 election, but about about the 18 months, 2 year mark in when he's got the house and everything in order and achieved what he's wanting to achieve. He's going to hand the reins over to uh, Kamala Harris. Now, I do apologise if I've pronounced that wrong. I've now been told, sent videos of about 4 different ways to pronounce it, that he'll hand the reins over to Vice President Harris, which will set up the acceptance of a female president. So I want to have a look. Liz Cheney. Liz, okay, thank you. I'm being told I have shuffled enough. So come on down. Oh boy, that was a long intro. So yes, the circle of support behind Liz Cheney in 2028-29. So I'm looking at Liz Cheney 28-29. Circles of support, feminine energy. Yeah, here's the oligarchs backing her. With the Ten of Pentacles, that's oligarchical money backing her. The foundation of the reading, this is because this is here and now energy, is the Death card. It is about a significant ending and a new beginning. So I'm not going to say they're not changing horse in midfield. They're getting off the horse. They're shooting it and sending it off to the knacker's yard, and then they're bringing up a fresh filly, so to speak. So significant endings and new beginnings. In the past, we've got democracy. Oh, I hope democracy isn't in the past. But it can also be the shining star, the shining light that Liz Cheney has been in the past. She has fooled a lot of progressive Democratic voters with her stance against the MAGAs, but please do not be fooled by it. That is not who she is, because crowning this reading is literally the stealing of the truth, the lying, the deception, the fox in the hen yard, so to speak, the cunning, sly fox. Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy. Going forward, a crossroads moment about the messaging that is being brought forward, the new plan. It is a new plan in process that's shining a light forward, but the other goes into the dark thicket. So it's the planning in process, but externally, yeah. Oh, because I'm talking about Liz Cheney in 28-29. The external influences are these behind the scenes. Oh, yuck. Sorry, internally, bringing forth the feminine energy, the birth of something new, the powerful female. Can be my Russian card, but I'm really feeling it's more about this, how do I put it? This Russian type energy bringing forth the birth of something new. I'm not feeling it's Russia itself, because Russia itself is going through some huge changes over the next 12 to 18 months. I don't think Russia's going to be backing this sort of energy into the future. But it's the birth of something new in regards to the feminine. Hopes and fears, yeah, there's a lot of skilled work going on behind the scenes in regards to this. We've got the Four of Wands, appealing to families, family values, but sort of entrapping them in the message. Volatile message coming forward, volatile information coming forward. And then we have my Biden administration card, but it can also be an emotionally mature, compassionate energy as well. So is this list going forward? Contracts and agreements, being forced to surrender, yeah, this is just all, this is 3 twos we've had so far. It is all going to be very much crossroads point in regards to Liz Cheney going forward. I'm just looking at the cards coming up. We've then got the chaos being stopped. This is the current GOP. And then slow movement forward. There might be some secrets that come out about Liz Cheney that she doesn't want brought forward. And again, we've got the fourth crossroads moment. So this is going to be really, really not so much the 24 election, but the 28 one's going to be incredibly important for democracy going forward. I mean, I will read, assuming I'm still around then, closer to that election, but that I'm really feeling that it's the 28 election or 29 that will be really important. So show me, guys, is now I'm actually going to say a Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger ticket. Possibly, not sure which one's pres and which is vice pres, but it will be a dual ticket there. Here's what I'm really feeling given today's energy. Show me, are the international money powers that be. Now, these are the sort. Now, one of my beautiful viewers put it so succinctly in regards to Chubb authorising the bond for Trump. It is literally pennies down the back of the couch for Chubb in the international arena, and they are heavily invested, Chubb, in fossil fuels. So, and fossil fuels, the world is turning away from fossils. The US under Biden, has a big renewable plan happening. So does Australia. And it is basically, you can see all the intertwining there. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. Are the international powers that be going to throw themselves behind the Cheney? I'm not going to say Kinzinger. I do feel that it'll be the duel, but I don't know that he's set in stone yet. So let's have a look. Cheney, the Cheney, are they going to throw themselves behind the Cheney platform? Well, again, we've got the Lovers card. Contracts, agreements, oh boy, how do I put it? In light of the fading masculinity, it's a big yes card. And the rise of the feminine. Woo-wee. So this is, again, throwing Trump to the wolves and saying, nah, he's no good anymore. Let's focus on this female energy here. And again, we've got the circle of support. I mean, I shuffled and shuffled similar cards coming out in slightly different order. It can be a challenge, but it can also be just a second signifier card, throwing their support behind the female. Oh boy, oh boy. Foundation, we've got the GOP infighting at the moment, the GOP literally destroying itself. In the past, they're disappointed on the harvest that they received backing Trump. I'm just going to put it, they backed the wrong horse. Oh, well, yeah, I'm going to say they backed the wrong horse. And they are literally, their basket is empty, but they do see that the tree is still full that they can then tap into. So disappointment in what they received in response to backing Trump. Trump was too narcissistic, too arrogant, too self-absorbed for them to actually glean from him. However, he was of his time. We needed him to expose all of this, because if they had had somebody that was smart and cunning in the office, the corruption that has now been exposed would have just been continuing and, if anything, ramping up. So they're disappointed in backing Trump. Crowning this reading, so are they going to back Liz Cheney? It will be an uphill battle, a burdensome message to get across because of what happened with the GOP, but they are slogging uphill. They do see it's at the end of the cycle, and it's two wands here as well. So the GOP tearing itself apart and then putting the work being put in to bring it to an end of a cycle so it can start a new one. Yeah, there's a lot of money skills going on behind the scenes in regards to this. And I'm talking about placements at local levels. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're talking state levels, local judges, local sheriffs, you name it. Vote blue right down the ballot paper in every ballot that you can get yourself out to, and take a carload of friends with you, because it is so important. This is what has been happening basically since the Reagan years, is that they have been working behind the scenes, stacking the lower levels, the PTAs, etc., and then working upwards. And but what happened is they backed the wrong horse for the top job there. So they're now going through this rebuilding process again at those lower levels. Now you have to remember that Jimmy Carter had put solar panels on the White House and had introduced a renewable energy plan way back. I'm talking, is that 1970s, way back then? Um, and when Reagan got in, he immediately trashed the whole lot, removed the solar off the White House, and trashed the um, renewable policies. Now, you think, what was that going back? What are we looking at? Nearly 40, 50 years now. 40 years, 50 years, 40 years. Imagine where the world would be if that hadn't occurred. If the powers that be hadn't, through gerrymandering and manipulating. Now, the manipulating was in regards to the hostages that could have been released a lot earlier, prior to the election, a lot earlier, if the House Republicans and Senate Republicans had gone through the motions that Jimmy Carter wanted them to go through. So we're talking manipulation that goes back here 40 plus years, and they are not averse to putting sleepers in for that length of time. So just be aware of that. And the external influences, again, that same card in exactly the same place. The external influences, corruption, greed, just ghastly, ghastly devil energy. So keep your eyes wide open. Internally, again, similar cards, different order. It is going to be a really important decision point. Hopes and fears, manipulation, hopes and fears, ability to pull the rabbit out of the hat. But the outcome, oh, goodness me, please. The truth bringing about restrictions. So there's going to need to be a lot of work done in those 4 intervening years with Biden and Harris in regards to strengthening the systems. But this can also be bringing their version of truth and restricting the US population, because this is celebration, and a new moneyed start in government. Oh, do not like those cards at all. However, again, we've got the truth being brought forward, secrets coming to the surface, and we have a different start here. So there is hope still. Absolutely. There is hope still. So it is just warning cards at this stage. Don't be fooled, is what I'm getting. Don't be fooled by the fact that Liz Cheney is female. Do not be fooled that she stood up to the MAGAs. Look below the facade, look below the surface. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. You've had your warning. Let's see how it plays. Take care. Love to you all.